Hello and welcome to another video of mine, guys. I'm Shweta Vijay. It's always good to see you, my beauties. I am super excited to do this video because this is the last life update video of mine for 2025. Where did the year go? We have one more month left. What is happening? And the next thing we know, we are celebrating 2026 and hoping to make it a little more hopeful. I'm just hoping it'll go really well. But I really wanted to do this sit down, life update video for a very long time because a lot has happened for me this year. So many things that I just wanted to kind of like brief you on because you have grown up with me. You've been with me, some of you, from the very start. When I just had yesterday, I met somebody who said I was with you when you had 15,000 subscribers, and I was like, oh my god. So it just made me so emotional. So most of you have watched me in the past couple of years. You've seen my journey from London to Kochi, from Kochi now to Mumbai. So I just thought it was time for me to just give you a reasoning of what's going on, where my mental space is at. And I did ask my viewers on Instagram, send in your questions. So I'm just going to pick up a couple of questions just to get the momentum going. Things that I felt needed addressing, I'll definitely address. And while I'm doing so, I'm also going to take off my makeup so that, I went out, I already took out my base. I just want to take off my eye makeup, put on some skincare, and just have that one-on-one session with you guys and, have fun basically. All right. So let me just take off the eye makeup and let's start with the program. But before I do, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. I think you really need to start supporting your favorite content creators in the coming new year, because something is telling me by end of 2026, we are going to see YouTube videos come back, really come back. I'm talking about long format, and I'm very, very excited about it, but it cannot happen without your support. So just check if you've hit that subscribe button. If it's still something that you haven't done, then it's only going to take you a second to just do that, click, and then follow me on Shweta Vijay, which is my Instagram account. All right. Okay, let's start. Okay, so I have got my mobile with all the questions out here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to attach it right here where the glass is, so I can just look at the questions out here, a very professional way of, instead of just like looking this way. I just thought let me get my setup ready. Okay, so the first question is, how has the move to Mumbai been? Well, that is a very, very good question. First of all, I know many people, even the ones that I met in the last couple of events that I attended, everyone is like, you moved to Mumbai. How come? What happened? So I'm just sorry, while I'm talking to you, I'm going to kill two birds with one stone and take out my eye makeup as well. That feels so good. I think it is falling into place. For me, I was super scared when I wanted to move to Mumbai. It was something that I have been working on since the beginning of last year. Should I move? Shouldn't I move? That conversation was going on whole of 2024. I made a good circle of friends, you guys, which made me super happy and very, very comfortable. And then Nirvana, her school itself, everything was good. There was nothing to complain about. I was in Mumbai before I got married and I went to London. Once you live in the city, no other city in India is good enough. You somehow, no matter how chaotic, how messy it is, how polluted it is, you've got zillion problems out here in Mumbai. But something about Mumbai there is a charm, there's a method to this entire madness. There's a charm to it. There's some sort of a magic. And that's what I was missing. My mom did not like staying in Kerala because it's very hard. It was very hard for her to adjust to people who are extremely nosy, very interfering, and that is something that is never going to change with the Malayalis. There are progressive Malayalis right now with the youngsters, but you still have that slot of people who will do nothing but sit and gossip. I had to make this move for her, and I'm glad that I did, because coming here was scary indeed. But then I started noticing that Nirvana, she's young enough, she's very resilient, she's adjusting very well to her new school, which I was afraid she wouldn't. She is. Language is a slight barrier because there's a lot of Hindi spoken out here, but she'll adjust to that as well. And I think I have made the right move out here in terms of work as well. It has picked up. I'm able to go for events. Yeah, I'm just gonna go wash my face, guys, and I'll be back. Oh, that was hard. I had to actually remove my contact lens, wash my face, and put my contacts back again. And now that my makeup is off, I am using the newly launched Milky toner from Plum. So this is the Cerasense Milky toner. I attended their event, I think almost a month and a half ago, and I had a very, very good time at this event. They only called limited content creators that talk about skincare, and it was a one-on-one session with the Plum team, the formulators, as well as the founder. And they took us through the launch of this. It hadn't even launched then, and they took us through the formulation, why they created it. So I've been using it ever since. They just sent me a new one. Okay, so they sent me a sampler of that and a cream that I'm about to show you. And it's such a beautiful milky toner. I truly feel that Plum as a brand is actually doing amazing things in terms of skincare. They've got so much under the umbrella, and this two new launches of theirs, it is actually so good and so winter appropriate. This is a great toner because it absorbs into the skin in seconds, and it has such a beautiful fine mist, and it supports barrier health, and it is enriched with ceramides and peptides, and it provides moisture while being alcohol and fragrance free. And that's why you feel your skin feeling so refreshed, so supple. I also use this under my makeup, sometimes over my makeup when I just want a little bit of that hydration. It's lovely. I mean, they have done such a beautiful job with this toner. Very, very refreshing. And to just lock in the moisture, I'm going to show you a cream that this brand has created that is just so top notch. Now, I think there's a nice chill in the air in Mumbai, and it's going to get a little more colder out here. I traveled to Delhi as well, and I carried this, and it is perfect, you guys. So this is the Cerasense moisturizer with ceramides, prebiotics, peptides, 1% NMF, and acai berry. It provides deep moisturization without being sticky, and it also helps to nurture your skin's microbiome, which helps to improve your skin health. These products are a great addition to your AM and PM routine, and it goes well with most of your skincare. So even if you want to apply this with any tret, with any sort of, retinol, niacinamide, vitamin C, definitely you can apply this because it has a very beautiful lightweight texture, but at the same time deeply hydrating. And this was the sampler that they gave me a month and a half ago, and I've been using it regularly, almost done with this. But I'm so glad that I got this new bottle. Still so good. I think this will also suit combination skin, but I feel that this is more attuned for extremely dry skin and normal skin. Okay, let's move on to the next question. What has been the toughest part about starting over in a new city with a little one? What a great question, Megha. Honestly, the toughest part of this was doing it alone. Well, I can't say I was completely alone because I had my brother and my mother with me, which, they are my strength. You guys know that. I don't know what I would do without them, but when you move cities with a child, you're not just getting a house, and you're not just, setting things up, you're rebuilding a whole ecosystem. So for me, it was scary at first. It was truly a very frightening experience because when you do this in your 40s, when you do this at any age, moving houses itself is very stressful. So imagine moving cities. And I have done this so many times. I've moved countries and now cities, that it's just become it's not a norm for me, but it's become a thing that causes utmost anxiety. So I have restless nights, and then, eventually everything settles down, everything falls into place. But that initial fear, can I do it? Financially, will I be able to do it? Will I be able to take care of everything? Who do I go for? Because Mumbai, I do have family, but they're very scattered. But when you want help then and there, who do you reach out to? Because in Kerala, that's not the case. Everything is so close-knit. Everything is so surrounded, almost 3 months in. And I feel like this has been the best thing I did for me and for my daughter and for my mother, because just getting that adequate help when it comes to getting domestic help, getting a nanny, house help, especially when I traveled, that was really hard in Kerala. It's not out here. You get that sort of, the ecosystem out here is all about survival, and somehow everyone, you pay them, you will get people to help you survive at the same time. So money definitely is a lot more, what can I say? It's a lot more expensive, the city. Mumbai is an expensive city. But, with the kind of peace and satisfaction I'm getting right now, I mean, you can't put a price point to what, I'm seeing myself, what I'm going through and what my mother is going through. Getting a house itself was extremely stressful because, of the restrictions that, Mumbai suddenly has. It doesn't matter, it's not just religion based, it's also based on the kind of food that you eat, which so much has changed in Mumbai, and I've never had that sort of a problem ever, even when I was staying in Mumbai. Just maneuvering all that with a child and making sure she's safe and protected, because it's a huge city. So every day you've got to keep like your guards on, your walls up, you're completely defensive, and you just want to be that mother hen for not just my daughter, for my mom. She's aging as well. So, doing it all single-handedly, it was a very, very difficult process, because, you need your partner with you to go, help you through this entire process, select the schools with you, select a house with you. So when you don't have that in hand, there's a lot of weight that you're carrying. So nevertheless, I was able to do it. Somehow I found the courage, thanks to my family, because of my mom, because of my brother. I was able to, just he left his work in Dubai and he stayed with me for 1 month, just to get me up and running, and I'll forever be grateful to him for that. And those are the kind of help, that's when you kind of like realize, who's there to actually help you get better in life, who's just going to push you into being your best version of yourself. What I truly loved was the kind of people that reached out to me, from agency to my content creators, as soon as I moved there. Can I help you? Is there anything that you need? Those are simple words that mean so much to you. It's not just about, hey, what can I get? It's not personal gain. It's more or less like, a community. That's what I felt as soon as I moved. The amount of people that reached out. So Sana has written, how is Nirvana adjusting to the move? Does she miss her old school and friends? Yeah, initially she did. She would ask me like, where is Ethan? Where's Tara? Those were her friends back in school. She would miss her teachers as well, because, she, we put her, in nursery, and she's grown up, with all of them. So I think she just got used to that very small, tiny room. And now this is a proper school that she's at. So it's a bigger space. So she got a little overwhelmed. But, she's getting used to it. She's getting used to the children below this building as well, who ignored her completely in the first month, poor girl. And she's a very friendly, social child. She takes after me. So in a way, and she definitely takes after my brother. But I'm so glad that, she's finding her own identity out here. She's growing up to be slightly more independent. And that's what I wanted Nirvana to grow up like that, to be a little more independent, So, yeah, she is liking Mumbai. Sometimes she's a child, she's only 5. So sometimes she has got that, oh, I miss home, in the sense I miss my school. I want to see Gugu, a friend of hers that, my closest friend's daughter. And then she says, I miss Joey Masi. Those are things that she'll say right before bedtime. It's just more like reminiscing, and, she's just jogging down memory lane. But yeah, she's okay. She's doing quite well for herself. How are you handling mom life and creator life in the big city? Tip, please. I don't know. I think it takes a village. Please, if you can get the help, get the help. I'm always an advocate for people to spend money on themselves and spend money for them, for their time, for the luxury of time. Time is a luxury right now. And if you can spend that money to get somebody to clean the house, and spend that money to have somebody to cook, or spend that time to have somebody for a couple of hours to take care of your child, please do that for yourself. Bombay gives you the best and the worst, but it also gives you a middle ground where, if you want in the affordability category, you'll find somebody. But it's that whole thing of us, that how we are told, like, hey, you're a superwoman, you need to do everything by yourself, and you kind of like glorify that superwomanhood. Please don't do that. Trust me, at my age, I'm in my 40s right now, I'm a mom, I'm tired of proving a point to anyone and everyone. I can't do this by myself, so I need the help. And if your parents can help you, make them help you, only because it gives them pure joy to be around with their grandchildren, and somehow they get that kind of kick, and that kind of burn, that kind of like what you zest for life. Something about them just keeps them going. So get your parents involved, and if you're by yourself, just with your child, basically, my heart goes out to you, because I know how difficult it must be. But find ways to, like, find joys for you. And I think even if you can just go for that brisk walk for 30 minutes, and just find, even with your child, I mean, go for that walk. So these are small, small things that I can't give you tips really on survival, because that's your story. And it'll sound very shallow on my part to just say, hey, this is what I did and you should do that, because our survival instincts and our category is not of the same page. Basically, I might have the help, you don't have the help. For some people, it's not like the financial help which I have at the moment. Some people are not working, they're dependent. So there's so much, and I can't bring forward my pointers to you. The only thing I can tell you is find ways that you bring joy for yourself more than your child. It will always be you first, and then your children. Your child is going to grow up. They are going to grow up, and they're going to move on, and they're going to turn around and tell you, hey, I never asked you to sacrifice all of this. They are going to say that. They are going to turn around and say, Mommy, but I never told you to do that. Because children these days, this day and age, they're so resilient. They are going to grow up, they are going to survive, they're going to have the best survival instincts. So don't worry about them. Just worry about you. That's the only tip I can give you at the moment, because anything else would be so redundant, considering that, we come from various walks of life. Will we get more mom and daughter content? She's too adorable. This is from Samir. Oh, Samir, hi. I didn't know that many men also watch my YouTube video, but hi. Not really, because I now, more and more, when she's growing up, I have never included her in my content ever. Here and there on Instagram, I would put a picture of her if there is a function, or on stories. Once in a month, I'll put something, because she has got a lot of well wishers, because they have watched Nirvana come into existence, through my IVF, so people have been there since then. So, just to give them a slight glimpse of what Nivi looks like, what she's all about, I would put Nivi's picture here and there. But in terms of making content around her, that's not something that I would do. Protecting my child's privacy is very, very important for me. And I feel like, I wouldn't do anything without her permission. Tomorrow, when she grows up and she turns around and says, why did you do this to me? I don't ever want to be in that stage. Just for what? I know I'm going to get the views, and I know I'm going to get a little more money if I did that, if I put my family into my content. But I don't want to do that. I believe in evil eye a lot. And I also believe that, children should remain children. They shouldn't grow up in front of a camera. They just shouldn't. A lot of mothers who are into content creation should be very careful about their child, because so many pedophiles out there that you've got to really worry about. And I'm sorry, Samir, that's not something that I plan to do. But yeah. That's it. Shruti asked, what helped you emotionally when things got messy? Therapy, friends, or time? All of the above. There should be an option D. I think time, definitely. That just helped me heal a lot of wounds, which there were plenty of it. Financially, I think also, emotionally, I think therapy. I started my therapy once again. She's mighty expensive, but I have to go back to someone who could be a little more affordable, but she's just that good. She just gets me. A much more older person, and there's that level of understanding. So she has been helping me a lot. Before that, I had another fantastic therapist. So I put in the work where therapy is concerned. In times of friends, oh my God, yes, friends. It's so important to have that close knit friends around you all the time. I had that in Kochi. I have that in Dubai. I have that here also. So luckily I've managed at this stage of my life to have some really good friends around who will watch out for me, who's always there to cheer me on, and who's always there to actually, who's happy to see me grow. And I also have a fantastic brother and mother who are also my best friends. They are part of my friend circle at the same time. So I think having that kind of friendship also is going to help you revive yourself, and you're going to feel a lot more charged about, in terms of being positive about life, about your future, your mindset. It's very important to choose your tribe. So if you choose a circle that is negative and pessimistic, you're not going to grow. You're going to actually be like them. So please be very careful with the friends that you choose. That is very important with time and basically therapy. I truly think that I was never someone who believed in therapy, but thanks to Jovi, I do. And that has been such a very good move for me to find somebody unbiased who I could speak with. So, yeah, Harini has sent a fantastic question. What is something you have unlearned this year that changed your life? I think the biggest thing I unlearned this year is the idea that I have to shrink myself to keep the peace. I was somebody who was always walking on eggshells with my partner. And I realized that in return, I was shrinking into somebody that I could not recognize at all, just to keep the peace. I wanted, the presence of a father figure for my daughter, and I realized that that's always going to happen. But that father-daughter relationship will always continue. But in return, what was happening was I was being ridiculed, and I was being judged, and I was being put down in so many ways that I felt like I was not able to walk out of that. And I felt that if I did, then my daughter is not going to have her father, the father figure is not going to be around. And eventually, when I did, and I chose myself, and I started just cutting ties and cutting away from everything, I realized that my daughter still has her father around. So why am I putting myself in a position where I'm not happy, and where I'm feeling a lot more small, and the other person is taking that liberty to make me feel smaller? I felt like, carrying people's emotion was like a full-time job for me. Carrying my partner's emotions, carrying, the extended family, the family that, came along with him. It was becoming a sort of a burden, in the sense of, because I was coming from a place of love, but that was not reciprocated, and it was being misunderstood and misjudged so badly that it was just something that took a lot out of me to unlearn and to love myself and walk out. I unlearned the belief of the fact that choosing myself is not selfish. It really is not selfish. It is survival, it's alignment. I am choosing to be with the kind of people that helps me grow, that aligns with me, that helps me evolve into a better version of myself. I stopped explaining, I started protecting my energy, and I can already see the shift ever since. And I think one of the main reasons of also moving to Mumbai was that I cut away from toxic environment, and I just realized that peace isn't something that you just find. It is just something that you stop giving away. That truly is a big lesson that I have learned in the past couple of months, I would say this year, because this entire thought process, this entire mindset of mine, of evolvement of it, started beginning of 2025. And that's when I realized, like, it's time to just let go, and not shrink myself any further. It's time for me to shine. I'm a good person. I've got a good heart. I look after people. I look after myself. And I love with my entire existence. And if that is not reciprocated, I don't need to be there to, preach and sell myself to a person who just doesn't understand that. And if you don't understand that, I don't even have to fight with you about it. I will just walk away with a little bit of dignity. Whatever dignity I have left, I'll walk away, and I will choose peace. Okay, so the next question is, are you open to love again, or is that chapter closed for now? I'm so sorry. I don't know what is happening in your personal life, but if you can throw light on that, or if you don't, no matter what, we are still going to love you. Okay. I'm not closed off to the idea of love. I'm just not chasing it. For me right now, it is about rebuilding myself. It's about rebuilding my life for my daughter, for my future. For me, being financially stable is what I'm chasing. Love will eventually come once you start to appreciate yourself, once you start to look into the mirror and you're like, I love every version of this girl, whatever is wrong with this girl, also I love her. Once you are in that frame of mind, then I feel that your aura itself will open out to a lot more people, a lot more nicer people will come into your life. You can't fix anything if you can't fix yourself. You need to fix yourself first. If you're broken deep inside, you cannot jump into something. And I have to be very careful of the kind of person that I bring to the table, because right now I have to take care of my daughter, and what my daughter is seeing me, how she sees my mental health, how she sees my physical health, everything is going to shape her reality and shape her for tomorrow. So I have to be extremely careful. I mean, so many of my friends are like, why don't you start dating? Why don't you go to the apps? And for me, I don't like that concept of finding somebody. Maybe I would, I don't know, I probably will change one day, but right now I'm really not looking for it. I'm not chasing it. I'm just trying to be happy with the scenario I have right now. I'm trying to rebuild. I'm just picking up those stones and bricks and just rebuilding my house, which is inside, that was shattered and broken, and I'm just trying to move on from that. And I'm feeling good about it. And I need somebody who's a very strong partner. I need somebody who's going to make me believe in my feminine side. My it's not going to, because right now, throughout my life, after daddy passed away, I was just on survival mode. I was taking care of my family, and I've been doing that since I was 18. And then I got married, and I started noticing that my masculine side, did not disappear, because I was not allowed to be feminine. And I need somebody who will allow that. And for that, he has to be, I won't say like I need him to be like the best. I have no such qualms. I just want somebody who is going to be that fitting partner for me in the terms of my emotional well-being. I need someone who is going to bring much more than just financial stability into my life. It is very important. He has to be financially stable. I cannot do with another crisis management. I can't do that. So I need somebody who stands his own, has his own sort of, like his own understanding towards life and finance, and he's got that zest. And at the same time, I need somebody who's putting in the work, just like I'm doing the work for my mental and emotional health. I need somebody who's like that, and who is far away from this entire patriarchy structure, like I'm the man and you're the woman and I will do this. No, I don't want that anymore. It has to be equality in every way. So I hope that whoever in the future comes into my life, I mean, if such a possibility is there, then he loves me for who I am truly, and loves my daughter, loves my mother. And the number one thing that I will never compromise on ever again, is someone who bloody disrespects my mother. I did that. I mean, I saw that, and I still kept quiet, and I will never do that again, because the last time when it happened is the last time I walked out of the marriage. So I will never ever have anybody disrespect my family. I opened my eyes and I saw them. They are my people. They are a part of me. They are my flesh and blood. So anybody putting them down is not going to be a part of my life, and that I have made it very clear. And a lot of our kindness was misunderstood, and they took it for granted. They took our kindness, basically our bringing, our niceness, our way of talking, our way of dealing with things, and they just took it for granted. And they took our kindness for weakness, and they really took advantage of it. I mean, and I'm never going to let that happen again. So no partner of mine is ever going to disrespect my family, and in return disrespect me. Just to disrespect me, you're hurting everyone around me. That's never going to happen. So yeah, will love happen again? I don't know. Am I looking for it? No. I'm not chasing it. The chapter is not closed. It's just going to be written with a lot more intention, and realization. So Yashika has asked me, you've hinted at your marriage going through a tough phase. Are you comfortable sharing what happened? Well, I'm comfortable sharing the parts that are mine to share, and keeping the rest as, I would say, not secret, but to myself, because there is a child involved. And and not everything I feel about my life publicly needs to be dissected, only because of her mental health. I have to look at Nirvana, because whatever I say on the internet stays on the internet. And tomorrow, when she opens, any video of mine, or she, tries to Google anything about herself or her parents, nothing should pop up that's going to actually break her heart. The only thing I can say is it reached a point, my marriage, where I felt unheard, unsupported, and emotionally drained. There were patterns that was being repeated, and I kept myself, I was just walking on eggshells, shrinking myself just to keep the peace. And it started becoming a job, you guys. It really started becoming all about me, you, and there was a lot of blame game. It was just getting to a point where I knew that if I had continued, it's just going to be like a point of no return. Either I would have emotionally just, I would have harmed myself in some ways, or I would have just either, just, I would have just blown things, or I don't know. I can't even explain my emotions right now. I wouldn't have dealt it in a mature way. So I would have, I was thinking of Nirvana through and through, and I was very tired that it was just one grown up in this relationship that was only thinking about the child. I cannot even fathom talking about being in a partnership with somebody, and even if I was cut away from that person, I cannot fathom hating a person, but loving the child, because the child comes from the both of us. So if you had to ask me, do do I is it pure dislike and hate right now? Never. It never will be. For me, they will always be. I cannot curse the house that I prayed in. I can't do that. So for me, he was someone that, I saw a future with. And that sort of adoration, and that sort of, what can I say? That affection will always, always be there. I cannot like hate the person for whatever I went through, because if you think of it, it was my fault also. If you ask him, there are so many faults that he probably will say about me. We don't know. And it is also possible that there are many men that are really terrible husbands but are fantastic fathers. And that's the kind of hope I have for him, that he will turn out to be the best version of himself for Nirvana, that he would understand that only until he becomes the best version of himself would Nirvana find a partner, or tomorrow be an excellent version of herself. She shouldn't choose the wrong partners because she had, like an absent father, or an emotionally avoidant father, or basically father wounds. So this is very important for me to. I was hoping that I could communicate that with him, and right now we are not in talking terms as much. But I do know that we are both trying to coexist for our daughter, to raise her. But I need the other person also to be a little more mature. It was really tough. I tried, I communicated, I waited, but I felt that eventually, love cannot be done just one-sided. You've got to find ways to make it work. I I did whatever I could, no stones unturned, to help revive this. Distance was not helping, so I could not find myself fitting into the UK scenario. I was financially dependent, and that itself created so much of animosity towards me from his side, from his family side, and maybe because he was financially strained, without the help. But I didn't know what else to do than to just take my career in my hands and come to India and revive it. And that's what happened. Actually, it happened during my IVF treatment. And I got blamed for it. So I don't know what they wanted me to do. They wanted me to be financially independent, or did they want me to be dependent? Because when I was dependent, they had a huge problem. When I was financially independent, they had a huge problem. So, it really, everything that I did was to actually make things work and to eventually be called a money minded person, almost like a gold digger, was very, very hurtful for me. And that's the time I realized that this is just not going to work, because it's only animosity. And I had to close this chapter for myself, for my mental health, and for my physical health, so that I could raise my daughter better. And because I was able to walk away and realize my truth and realize whatever is happening is not right for me at the right time, I'm able to have her sustain that beautiful relationship between her and her father. She talks to him almost daily. There's a video call. Now we're meeting, hopefully, at this destination out of India in December. I could have been that person who would have destroyed that as well, going absolutely berserk, thinking, no, you don't get even visitation rights. No, I never did that, because I will never do that for my daughter, to my daughter. She should have her father around. She should have her father's parents around. She should have her grandparents around, because it's of no fault of hers. But that realization shouldn't just be from my side. It shouldn't be a one-sided maturity. It should be coming from the other side as well. Like, what can we do to make our daughter the best version of herself? And number one thing that I will never do to myself ever again is be with somebody who is not loyal. For me, loyalty is everything, in every matter of the way. Mentally, physically, being loyal. You be loyal in every way, and I will give my life to you. The moment I smell disloyalty in any way, in any form, that's the time I switch off. And there's nothing that can fix it, So I tried. I loved so much that despite the disloyalty, I even tried to make the marriage work, but it just did not happen. Disloyalty happened again and again and again, and I just could not take it anymore. And the only takeaway from this is a beautiful daughter, and I truly hope that we come to a middle ground someday. Someday, some sort of realization will happen that I wasn't the enemy, I wasn't the negative one. And someday I just hope that there will be a realization where they will understand that she is the one that should be the topmost priority, my daughter, our daughter, and find a way to just be nicer and find a way to just be more peaceful with each other. Okay, guys, I'm going to take one more question to end this life update video. And what are you most excited about in this new Mumbai chapter? I think what excites me is the sense of possibility. There's so much that I'm hoping there'll be opportunities, basically. And I'm not just talking about work and money. I'm talking about in every sense of the way of just rediscovering who Shweta was before marriage. So that sort of possibility is what's exciting me a lot more. I feel like I'm truly building a life that reflects on who I am today as a person, as a mother, as a daughter, as a sister, as a friend, So I'm trying to revive and rediscover, like I mentioned, and I'm finding things about myself that I forgot. She was locked up somewhere in this mind, this fun Shweta, this humorous Shweta, this naughty Shweta, that was always told to behave. That kind of Shweta, I'm trying to find her. I'm trying to bring her out. The Shweta that had only social anxiety in the last couple of years, last 8 years of my life, that social anxiety, that lack of confidence, that sort of Shweta never existed before. The Shweta that was there before, despite what she looked like, was a very confident Shweta. And I'm just trying to bring that lady forward, that girl forward. There is something about this city. It pushes you, but at the same time, it kind of like embraces you, it holds you. And I'm also excited about the opportunities, work opportunities. I really hope that content creation, the long format video comes back in motion. I really hope that, where, the right sort of influencers, comes forward, the right sort of people who are educators, who wants to people who inspires, positivity, they come forward a lot more than people who are just there to make a buck or two. And there's also a lot of personal growth that is happening very quietly in the background. I'm finding my space, I'm finding and meeting new people, and I'm actually building routines for myself, which I never had before. And, I'm just quite excited to see where the city takes me. What is the next chapter? Just like you, I'm so in awe of what has happened in the last couple of months, and I truly believe that there's someone up there watching me. It could be my father. God, I'm going to be so emotional, but it has to be my dad. It has to be Almighty God. It is Almighty God. It is our Creator in some way or another. Whoever you believe in, whether it is your own spirit, your spirit guide, it is my mother's prayers, it's my grandmother's prayers. Something has been guiding me, in just helping me survive and be okay. I'm me, the best version, and I'm here for my mother, who is everything to me, and I'm here for my daughter, who hopefully will grow up to be this incredible human being, who knows her own worth. I want that for Nirvana. I'll be very disappointed if she comes to me when she's in her 20s saying that she wants to settle down. I would be extremely disappointed. I want her to travel. I want her to see the world. I want her to be worldly wise. I want her to be, standing on her own, and I don't want her to ever bend backwards to correct her partner's flaws. I want her to stand her own ground. So I hope I have given you a life update of what's going on in my life, you guys, and I hope it puts a lot of rumors to rest, and there will be no much talk after this about my personal life unless and until I want to open up, allow me the space to just heal. I also want to end this video by thanking each and every one of y'all for the life that I have today. I've always said that before, that none of us content creators can move a step forward if it isn't for their viewers that supports them. Everything that I am today is because of you. The financial independence that you people have given me, you have absolutely no idea, intentionally and unintentionally, what you have done to my life. So from the bottom of my heart, I truly thank you and I bless you. You all. It's people who I don't know. Every time in my prayers, I'm like, please protect my viewers, and in ways that I can't even, indulge in a prayer for you excepting for gratitude. I thank God for all of you, whoever's watching, whoever's not subscribed, whoever's watching, whoever's supported silently. Thank you. Because of you guys, I was able to take bold steps towards my life and be a better version of myself. And there is no price to that. So there's nothing much I can tell you, but I love you, and I hope your support continues as long as I'm here on social media. But this is it. This is it. And all of the links of my favorite products that I used are there in the description. Check it out. Use the codes, and I shall see you with some really amazing videos where we're going to be talking a lot more beauty stuff. That's what I'm here for, to help you shop better. Bye. And I'll see you when I see you. All right? Take care.